Hello team, it's a busy day today. Welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan MS Pierce. I think I'm probably going to produce more content than I ever have done in a single day before, because I've got all these videos that have been lined up to do and stuff keeps happening. Not least Novorossiysk at the moment. Just to let you know where Novorossiysk is on the map, we have Crimea here, and we had the Black Sea Fleet previously housed in Sevastopol, but that was being struck to freely by the Ukrainians, so they moved it further away to Novorossiysk, which is still not too far. It's not far from Crimea, but because it's that much further going eastwards, it takes a lot more for the Ukrainians to hit Novorossiysk with either missiles, drones, or aerial drones or sea drones, USVs. Now, we have seen it struck before by both aerial drones and sea drones. They put a boom, I think, across the port. It might be worth having a look at the map, actually, to give you a sense of what Novorossiysk looks like as a port. It is not a deep sea, massive deep water, deep sea. It is a warm water port, obviously. It's on the Black Sea, so it doesn't freeze over, but it's not as deep and as protected as, say, Sevastopol. So Sevastopol is here, and it is a very useful port to have. You can kind of close it off to attacks here, and there's an awful lot of infrastructure here that allows the Navy to do their stuff. Loads of dry docks and then other sort of jetties and docks, and so Sevastopol was a very, very prominent naval port. That's really why Russia wants Crimea and wanted Crimea so badly in 2013, because with Sevastopol, they have a deep sea, so a deep port that they can park their boats in and then moor their ships in, but also a warm water port that doesn't freeze over. So they then have access through the Bosphorus Straits to the Mediterranean. Sevastopol is super important. Novorossiysk is not a good, it's really the poor cousin, not a good second best. It is far and away an inferior port. So you just have this area. They try to put, I think, booms across here, but it is not nearly as big as Sevastopol. And what happens is ships have to moor outside of the port for safety. Now, this is being attacked as we speak right now by both aerial and USV, sea surface drones. But it's not just there. We're hearing that Yalta, Alushta, Zander, Feodosia, Kerch, alarm for Bex. So this is what the Russians call USVs, unmanned sea vehicles, including carriers of FPVs. So these then can carry FPVs, use the platform as a repeater, and then go and attack with FPVs. Then normal one-way attack drones, multiple launch rocket systems, and SAM systems as well, is the idea that a large group from the sea is indicated in the directions. So this is the idea they're using all sorts against Crimea, but not obviously all sorts against Novorossiysk. So here's Feodosia is over in this direction, along here somewhere. Primorsky. Anyway, it's somewhere along this neck of the woods, and up to Kerch, as was mentioned. And so that is what the Ukrainians are going for a number of different places. I'm going to find that. I was being blind. So Feodosia is indeed, there it is. So there's Feodosia. Alushta is further up the coast there. So these are places that are being targeted, as well as Novorossiysk. I don't have any information on the Crimean targets, but let's have a look at some of the footage coming out at the moment. So according to Russian media, says War Translated, an attack on Novorossiysk in Krasnodar Krai is currently underway. The Black Sea Fleet naval base is under fire from drones and naval drones. Meanwhile, the enemy's air defense spares no one, trying to shoot things down directly over residential buildings. So then you're starting to get destruction inside Novorossiysk from air defenses. Here you can see burning cars, and you can see a drone just in the distance there. This does get hit. Let's go to that now. So just towards the end of this video, but it cuts just as that drone is hit. Unfortunately, you just don't really see, but there's a drone driving here, and then it gets hit by whatever defenses that blows up in situ. we're going to come back to some more footage in a second. So, according to Astra, Ukraine's drone strike on Novorossiysk has damaged the city office of the Caspian Pipeline Consortium, CPC. 2 CPC employees were injured and hospitalized. The office has been evacuated and operations are suspended. The building also sustained serious damage. I don't know if that pertains to a video we have of this. I don't know if this is the damage and the video, but you've got some cars on fire down at the bottom there and damage done to windows and whatnot in that large building. I don't know if that's a CPC building there. Okay, as we go on, footage of the naval drone entering the port of Novorossiysk. Russian sources report that some of the naval drones used were equipped with FPV drones that were launched into the city. So that is significant. I've been wondering whether that was going to happen in somewhere like Novorossiysk. I've actually lain in bed at night thinking that that's what I would do if you could get the repeaters to operate in Novorossiysk. There are so many targets in Novorossiysk to hit. Here you can see that this naval drone is not taken out by the end of this video, although they are trying. As you can see, they're firing all sorts at this USV. I don't know if it gets hit and stops there because you don't see the wake behind it, and then maybe it's able to be shot after it's hit by a round, but the video cuts. Now, burning naval drone is spotted off Novorossiysk with Russian warships clearly visible in the background. Time for another visit. Here we have quite a few naval ships that are moored at these jetties in Novorossiysk. We can see various pictures here. There is a drone that has been taken out, possibly the one we've just seen. Now, I wonder how many drones that they have sent against this port, because we heard that naval drones are one thing that they are able to export. The recent changes of legislation have meant that they can now start exporting excess weapons. I wonder whether they are indeed excess. Is there a maximum number of these drones that you can send? Because, again, the sort of thing I lay in bed at night thinking about is, well, if we know that they can get to Novorossiysk, then surely they just need to send more of them to have an effect. Like, yeah, it's a long way to go, but if they can fly FPVs off them, then that's very cool. But if you just send, I don't know, 100 of these, like, is there just a greater chance that some of them will get through and then hit some naval ships and actually do some serious damage to some naval ships? Now, I don't know that. I presume that's not possible. They don't have as many, but then if they're selling them, surely you can stockpile them. Anyway, something to think about. Now, here we are seeing more imagery of roof here on fire of a sort of an apartment block building. And there looks like there's quite a lot of damage to various parts of the roof here. Now, is that as a result of air defense? Because underneath Novorossiysk, air defense is at work, is the claim, as we saw earlier. There's smoke all around. Yeah, that's that building from the ground. So it then the video moves to the right, which is almost under where this video above is being shot from. It looks like the video being shot is from that building onto... Oh, no, it's down further along that building. So that then is looking down to this building that's being filmed from the ground further to the left there. So some significant damage being done to residential property, but that looks like the sort of thing that you would expect if air defense was bringing something down on it, or it's air defense rockets themselves. I guess we'll find out at some point. Explosions reported at Russia's Novorossiysk naval base. Russian air defenses are trying to respond, but with limited success, according to local sources. At least 5 Ukrainian naval drones were destroyed while attempting to strike the shoreline near Novorossiysk, according to Russian sources. So the claim here is, this is somewhat out of the port, but still fairly close. 5 drones were taken out by Russian defenses. It's also interesting that this is taking place in the daytime. I would have thought they would have timed it so that these drones could get there at night and they'd be harder to detect. Instead, this is right in the middle of the day. Nonetheless, there's often reasons, methods to people's madnesses. Here we have smoke rising in Novorossiysk somewhere. Onlookers checking it out. A building appears to have been hit at the top. Again, is that air defense causing that? Is that a case of drones being electronically intercepted. I don't know, to be perfectly frank, but lots of concern about Novorossiysk. There appears to be smoke rising in a number of places. We'll see if there's anything else just coming out now, because this is fairly developing. No, it doesn't look like it. That's the latest so far. So I don't know if there'll be any success at Novorossiysk. I've always thought you need to really go to town on places like this to overcome air defenses. And I say air defenses, but whatever defenses you call them when they're used against USVs. This is the home of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. And you can imagine that of all the places in this kind of area here, including occupied territories and close to the occupied territories, this is going to be one of the best defended. It will have booms and obstacles for USVs. It will have air defenses that are going to be better than other places, and it will have other sorts of defenses and the use of helicopters we've seen here before to take out USVs. So this is going to be a difficult place to hit, and in order to overcome all of those barriers, you will need just a massive amount of drones, both aerial and on the sea, and you want to coordinate those at the same time. So the Russians are struggling to be able to deal with the not just the number of drones, but how those drones operate, and then throw in FPVs flying off those USVs, and you have got one-way attack drones, FPV drones, and then sea drones. I don't know that it looks like there's enough drones to cause a massive problem for Novorossiysk, but I guess the issue for the Russians is, well, it's just proving that they can hit Novorossiysk. So what do? They can't move any air defenses from here to somewhere else like Crimea that is desperately crying out for them, because the Ukrainians are showing that they can hit here. Likewise, they did with Moscow 2 nights ago. This is possibly Ukraine flexing, but the Ukrainians will definitely want to do some damage with these drones. I don't know that any meaningful damage has really been done to Novorossiysk, but we don't yet know. Fingers crossed, hopefully some, but then we've also got some other places that have had warning alerts concerning attacks. So it could be that Ukrainians are trying it out in a number of places. For me, I would have sent all of those at Feodosia, or all of those at Alushta, or all of those at Novorossiysk, rather than spread the love and just hope that the more get through. And if it is somewhere that they get through, then you've got more drones to do more damage. So anyway, that's just my tuppence. Let me know what you think. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.